that knows me knows I'm always going on about greens. You cannot get enough greens in your diet. So I'm going to do a video today to tell you why. It is so blinking important, I can't tell you. You need to get them into every single thing, whether it's a smoothie, whether it's your lunch, whether it's dinner, whether it's a mid-morning snack, it could be a wrap, a sandwich, whatever. Get greens into absolutely everything you eat, okay? So the reason you want to eat them is that greens, believe it or not, are slightly a bit of a superfood. They're actually quite super. They have things like built-in sun protection that help you with your skin. They build up UV, basically, within your body. So if you're eating enough greens, I'm not saying go out in the sun and don't put any sun protection on at all, but I am telling you that you're going to help your body defend itself against things like harmful rays from the sun. The other thing they're brilliant for is your heart, for heart health. They keep your blood thin, so it runs through your body nice and smoothly, reducing your risk of things like strokes and heart attacks. Greens are also brilliant for regulating your hormones, for things like your DNA, for rejuvenating your skin, for producing new cells within your body. So they are really, really essential. Honestly, this is why I keep going on about them. I know you think, oh God, she's going on about greens again. But this is why. You have to get them in everywhere you can, whether it's a superfood powder. That's a really easy way, actually, of taking it. If you don't want to sit there and eat a whole big bowl of spinach or celery and avocados and broccoli and kale and all of that type of stuff, or you find it quite hard to digest some of that, the easiest way to do it is to use a super green powder. Now we sell the Your Super range, as you know. You can buy them on our website and on our Facebook page, but they are the simplest, easiest way of getting your greens in. Now I would still try to put other greens in too, but if you find that you can't eat as much as you should be having every day, then that's a really good option. So greens contain vitamins, they contain minerals, they contain fibre, and as we know, we need fibre to help your body digest things, also to help you have a really good poo. So you need to have things that have fibre in them, which is why things like juices are not that great for you. So you can have a juice once a day if you wish, but don't have juices all through the day. Don't do one of those silly juice diet things, because they do not contain any fibre at all. They're taking out actually quite a big proportion of the goodness in a fruit or a veg or whatever it is you're juicing, and that bit gets spat out the end, so you don't have that. So although it's fine to have them occasionally, definitely choose smoothies over juices, because you're getting the fibre in there as well. And if you've got a really good blender, a high-speed blender like a high-speed Ninja or a Vitamix or something like that, they're going to break that down for you while you're drinking it. Greens are also really on your side, because do you know what they do? They change the cells in your body to not fat making cells, but to fat burning cells. They actually help you lose weight. So it's not just a case of, oh, have a plate of salad if you're on a diet. There are further reasons as to why you shouldn't have it. It's not just because it's low calorie. It is because of this cell thing that it does. It's a fantastic thing. Honestly, eat more greens. My top 5 green things that I use at home, and I do use them every single day. The boys cannot have a meal here without having loads of greens either on the side or stirred in it or whatever. And to be honest, there's no excuse, because things like spinach, they're so easily incorporated into any food you have. If you've got mac and cheese, right at the end, stir it into your mac and cheese. You can put in parsley, coriander. You can do ribbons of courgette and put them on your pizza. That's one of my favourite ones. What else do we do? We put peas in just about everything. Just anything green that you can get in there is fantastic. But my top 5 foods that I use are kale. Kale is my absolutely number 1 green. It's my go-to green, if you like. It's in my fridge. I have to have at least 2 bags of it in the fridge, otherwise I get slightly nervous. But I do use it in just everything. I put it in my sandwiches, in wraps. I stir it into meals again. I put it in my smoothies. I just grab a handful of it as I'm walking past the fridge. And if you told me that years ago, I would have gone, yeah, right, okay, so you're grabbing a can for it. No, but I do. I absolutely love it. I can't get enough of it. Greens is for me. My body is always saying, get some greens, which is a good thing. You might be at the moment thinking, I want a packet of crisps, or I want some biscuits or chocolates or something like that. And chocolate isn't all bad for you, by the way. But actually, as your kind of palate changes, as your diet changes, and as your body, begins to get the things that it needs, you will be craving the really good stuff. Honestly, you will. Trust me. So kale, it is, as I say, the most dense green vegetable that you can get. It really is a superfood, so get it in wherever you can. If you really can't stomach it, then do things like take a super green powder, because a lot of those have kale in, or a version of kale that will help you as well, and you can put those again into your smoothies. You can put it in a bowl in the morning, mixed up with loads of fruit. You could put it even through your porridge. So, you know, lots of ways to incorporate it. Kale actually has 200% of your vitamin A in 1 cup. I mean, how amazing that it really is a super veg. Okay, so do use it. Again, use it raw, and because it's full of antioxidants as well, there is no reason not to have kale in your diet. Number 2 is spinach. So spinach is easy to incorporate in just about everything. I do not want to hear your excuses. It is so easy to put into anything. You can stir it into any meal. You can chuck it into any sandwich. You can put it in a toasty. You can put it in your smoothie. Just literally everything. Or you can just grab it by the handful and eat it, which is what I do as well. You know, have it on the side of your plate. I'd put it on the side of your children's plates as well. If you have kiddies, it's a good way to try to introduce greens. Even if they only eat a couple of leaves on the first time, you'll find by the end of the week and the end of the month, they're actually having more and more and more. It doesn't have a hugely strong flavour, so it's really easy to get used to, and like I say, you can chuck it into pretty much everything. Spinach has about 180% of your vitamin K that you need during the day. So again, that's another thing sorted, isn't it? I mean, these greens are just magnificent. This is why I go on and on about them. I know I'm slightly fixated on them. You might think that's a little bit weird, but honestly, greens are brilliant. They are fantastic for your body, and if you're trying to be happy and therefore healthy, then it's one of these things you need to discover. So folate is also in spinach, a really, really important mineral, as you know, because if you are pregnant, for example, then it's one of the things that they ask you to have all the time, folic acid. So folate, folic acid, it helps do things like reduce the risk of neural tube defects, things to do with your spine and stuff, so incredibly important. I stir mine into mac and cheese quite a lot. In fact, I stir all sorts of greens into our mac and cheese, but you could just cut it up and sprinkle it across the top if people don't like it inside. You can also wilt it down in the pan if you're doing things like fried breakfast and stuff like that. Obviously keep those to a minimum because of the fried issue, but otherwise, you know, just literally chuck it into everything. Watercress is my number 3. I've always got bags of it again in my fridge. I absolutely love it. Again, grab it by the handful. You can chuck it into soups, into smoothies. Obviously, it's got quite a hot flavour, a spicy flavour, so it's fantastic in things like sandwiches and wraps. Literally, again, just use it, experiment with it. Try it wherever you can, as long as you get it in. Watercress grows in streams, hence the watercress. You can find it in lots of places in Surrey. You can actually go and pick it in the streams and buy it as well, but you can also just get it in the supermarket in a bag. It's also great because it helps prevent cancer cells from growing inside your body. My number 4 is bok choy, those funny little Chinese cabbage things that you can get in the supermarket. They are fantastic. They have very thin leaves, so they're easy to chuck into things like stir fries because they cook really quickly. I use them in my mushroom ramen, which is in my ebook if you haven't seen that, or you can download it from our website and also from our Facebook page. There's a fantastic recipe for mushroom ramen. We have that an awful lot at home. Bok choy also contains selenium, essential for your kids as well. So it's a fantastic source, and it also helps things like thyroid issues as well. So if you're prone to those, or you know that you may come across this again later on in your life, it's a fantastic thing to be able to get in. My 5th one and final one is broccoli. Broccoli is loved in this household, or trees as it's called here by my children when we serve it up. Are we having trees tonight? Yes, we are. It's a very strong vegetable. It's quite potent almost. It's been shown in lab tests to actually reduce cancer cells by up to 75%. Again, the C word keeps coming in, doesn't it? See, all of these green leafy things are fantastic for helping you in the fight against preventing things like cancer.